I'm Margaret Chen, 78 years old. When my son David died suddenly, his wife Lisa immediately kicked me out of my home, claiming she owned everything. She told the court I was senile and incompetent. She emptied my bank accounts, stole my jewelry, and tried to put me in a nursing home against my will. Lisa thought an old Chinese woman wouldn't fight back. She forgot I'm a retired immigration lawyer who helped thousands win their cases. I knew every legal trick she tried. This is how I exposed her fraud, reclaimed everything, and left her homeless. Subscribe now. Hit that bell for more revenge stories. My name is Margaret Chen, and I'm 78 years old. I came to America from Taiwan 50 years ago, with nothing but a law degree and determination. I built a successful immigration law practice, raised my son David as a single mother after my husband died young, and bought a beautiful home in San Francisco, where I lived for 40 years. David was my world. He became a software engineer and married Lisa when he was 35. Lisa was 28, beautiful, and I immediately sensed something wrong. She was too interested in David's salary, too eager to know about my assets, too quick to suggest David should be on my bank accounts in case something happens. I kept my financial independence separate. My home was in my name only. My savings were mine. My jewelry collection from Taiwan was locked in my safe. David understood and respected this. Then 6 months ago, David died suddenly from a brain aneurysm at 42. I was destroyed. My only child, gone in an instant. Lisa didn't even let me grieve. 3 days after the funeral, she showed up at my house with a locksmith and 2 police officers. Margaret, this house is mine now. David inherited it when he put his name on the deed 2 years ago. You need to leave immediately. I was confused. What are you talking about? This house has always been only my name. She showed me papers. Somehow David's name had been added to my property deed 2 years earlier. The document looked official, notarized, filed with the county. David owned half this house. As his widow, I inherit his half. I'm selling it. You have 1 week to move out. I tried to argue, but the police said it was a civil matter. Lisa had legal papers showing ownership. I had to leave my own home. Lisa then went after everything else. She claimed David had power of attorney over my bank accounts and had transferred money to joint accounts with her. She presented documents showing David had gifted her my jewelry collection for safekeeping. She even filed a court petition claiming I was mentally incompetent due to age and grief, requesting guardianship over me so she could control my remaining assets. Within 2 weeks, I'd lost my home, my savings were frozen, my jewelry was gone, and a court hearing was scheduled to determine if I should be declared incompetent and placed in a nursing home. Lisa thought she'd won. She thought an elderly immigrant woman wouldn't understand American law well enough to fight back. She forgot I was a lawyer for 50 years. I immediately hired a forensic document examiner to review every paper Lisa had presented. Within days, we discovered the truth. The property deed adding David's name was forged. David's signature was fake. The notary stamp was fraudulent. The filing date on the county records had been altered using computer editing. The power of attorney documents were also forged. David had never signed them. The bank transfers were done using a fake power of attorney that the bank had failed to properly verify. The jewelry gift documents were completely fabricated. David had never touched my jewelry, and Lisa had simply hired someone to break into my safe while I was at his funeral. Lisa had forged everything. She'd created an elaborate fraud scheme using fake signatures, stolen notary stamps, and altered records. She'd planned this for months, possibly years, waiting for David to die so she could steal everything from me. I filed emergency motions in court. I presented the forensic evidence showing every document was forged. I subpoenaed Lisa's computer and found drafts of the forged documents, practice signatures where she'd tried to copy David's handwriting, and emails to a notary who'd been selling fraudulent stamps online. The judge was horrified. Ms. Chen, you're telling me your daughter-in-law forged legal documents to steal your property and assets after your son died? Yes, Your Honor. While I was grieving my son's death, she executed a plan to steal everything I owned and claim I was senile so I couldn't fight back. She underestimated me because of my age. Lisa's lawyer tried to argue the evidence was circumstantial, but I'm a lawyer. I knew exactly how to present evidence. I brought in the forensic expert who testified about the forgeries. I brought in the notary whose stamp had been stolen. I brought in my bank officers who confirmed they'd violated their own procedures by accepting Lisa's fake power of attorney. I even brought in David's friends who testified he'd always respected my financial independence and would never have tried to take my property. The judge ruled immediately. All documents presented by Lisa Chen are fraudulent. The property deed change is void. The power of attorney is fake. The guardianship petition is denied. Mrs. Margaret Chen retains full ownership of all her property and assets. Then the judge did something else. She ordered Lisa arrested for forgery, fraud, theft, and elder abuse. Lisa was handcuffed in the courtroom. She screamed at me in Chinese, calling me names, threatening me. I responded calmly in English for the court record. Your Honor, my daughter-in-law waited for my son to die to steal everything from me. She forged legal documents, broke into my home, emptied my accounts, and tried to have me declared incompetent. She targeted me because I'm elderly and immigrant. She thought I wouldn't understand American law. She forgot I practiced law here for 50 years. The criminal trial happened 3 months later. The evidence was overwhelming. The prosecution presented the forged documents, the computer files showing Lisa had created them, the stolen notary stamp she'd purchased online, and testimony from a locksmith she'd hired to break into my safe during David's funeral. Lisa's defense was that she'd been helping me manage my affairs because I was too old and confused, but her own computer files destroyed this claim. In emails to friends, she'd written, "The old lady has so much money and property. Once David dies, I'll take it all. She's too old to stop me." The jury convicted her on all charges. The judge sentenced her to 8 years in state prison for elder abuse, forgery, and grand theft. Lisa's lawyer filed an appeal claiming the sentence was too harsh. The appeals court upheld it, noting that targeting an elderly widow while she grieves her son's death represents particularly cruel fraud deserving maximum punishment. I got everything back. My home, my savings, my jewelry. The bank that had accepted Lisa's fake power of attorney had to reimburse me for their negligence, giving me an additional settlement. I also discovered Lisa had been cheating on David with his coworker for 2 years before David died. She'd been planning to divorce him, but decided waiting for him to die was more profitable since she could then target me without David protecting me. Now I'm 78 and living in my home where I've lived for 40 years. Lisa is 4 years into her 8-year sentence. She tried to appeal again, claiming she'd been mentally ill. The appeal was denied. I've started giving free legal advice to elderly immigrants about protecting themselves from financial abuse. Many don't understand American legal systems and are vulnerable to scams from family members or strangers. Don't let anyone tell you that age makes you helpless, I tell people. I'm 78. I came to this country 50 years ago with nothing. I built a career, raised my son alone, bought property, and saved money. When my daughter-in-law tried to steal everything while I grieved my son's death, I used my legal knowledge to destroy her in court. Age brings wisdom and experience. Use it. People ask if I feel guilty about sending my daughter-in-law to prison. The answer is no. Lisa waited for my son to die, then immediately attacked me at my most vulnerable moment. She forged documents, stole property, tried to have me declared incompetent, and planned to lock me in a nursing home while she spent everything I'd worked 50 years to build. She targeted me because I'm an elderly immigrant woman. She thought that made me weak. She learned that I'm a lawyer who knows every legal trick she tried. Lisa will be released when she's 40. She'll have no money, a felony record, and the knowledge that the senile old lady she tried to scam destroyed her life using 50 years of legal expertise. I'm 78 years old. I'm a retired immigration lawyer. I'm a widow who lost my only son. And I'm a woman who fought back when someone tried to rob me while I grieved. Lisa thought my age and grief made me vulnerable. She learned that age brings professional knowledge, and knowledge is power. The end.